Hey folks, it's JD here, and today we've got this. This is the UDI U42W. Look at it, it looks fantastic. Even after, it's been a couple of days since we've done the unboxing, and I'm still looking at this now and I'm thinking to myself, this really is a stylish looking copter. So a couple of things that I've done is I've put the battery in the battery compartment there, and I've plugged her up. If you've got slightly larger hands like myself, you may find that a little bit tricky. Take a bit of care when putting the battery back inside there, as you'll find the main cable that you have to connect the battery up to isn't very long, and I did have a bit of difficulty in putting the battery in. So there's one. Second one is we've gone through all the pre-flight checks. I've double checked all these little nodules are on the copter. Everything's all done up correctly. I've double checked all screws, including the ones that I haven't touched, so including these and the outside ones, and to be honest, we seem to be good to go. So what I'm going to do is there's a little on and off switch here, so I'm just going to power her on. There we go, LEDs are active, perfect. Camera is facing the standard way that it was when I had it, so slightly down, so let's leave it there. Let's pop her on the floor. Let's set up the app now, so let's have it to connect the camera to Wi-Fi, and then we'll open up the app and then we'll go from there. There we go, it's as easy as that, connected, beautiful. And then from there we shall open up the Flying C app, this one down here. There we go. And now you can control the quadcopter from the application if you'd want to. But personally, all I'm going to do with it, I'm going to control from the main transmitter here, and I'm just going to record the video from here as well. So record video, click the little record video button. The other little buttons you've got here are to take photo, to actually bring up the controls, smartphone, whether you use the controls to control it on the smartphone via the little smartphone buttons, or if you use it via the gyroscope. Virtual reality, should you have a headset, and that's pretty much everything, to be honest. You've got the little button down here to watch your video once you've recorded. Obviously we're not going to be doing that, we're going to be recording it, and then I'll take it home, edit it, and then show you then when it's all completely done. So now we've got the quadcopter on, lights are flashing. Let's turn on the transmitter. Okay, so there we go. So once up, once down to bind the quadcopter. There we are. You'll hear a little sound. That sound just notifies you, the flyer, that the transmitter is now bound to the quadcopter. So now we should be good to take off. One little thing though, just before we do, look at how nice and clear this telemetry screen is. Absolutely beautiful. Normally it's yellow and green like the old Game Boy colours. This is white with a black font. That's really nice. So what we're going to do is just take off normally. I'm not going to use the automatic takeoff yet, we'll come back to that in a little while. I just want to get a little feel in for it and see how she goes. So let's calibrate the gyros. There we go. Now the lights flash really quickly and then stop. That means she's all calibrated. So let's take off. Okay. Very controlled. Comes in very controlled. She does have altitude hold, so let's take her up a little way. Turn her around a little way. So we do have a little breeze today coming in at just under 2 miles an hour. So that is going to be altering her flight path slightly. Oh, it's really nice. I've not flown a UDI quadcopter before, and I got to be honest, she is very controlled indeed. There's no harsh movements. It seems to be that you push her in a direction and she'll gently get there. Oh, and talk about quiet. These motors are extremely quiet. Oh, really nice. And because of the two green propellers as well, you really notice them. Really notice them. Okay, so let's bring her down for a little controlled landing. That's as fast as she descends. That is really nice. Bring her a little bit closer to me. Descent. And then the two analog sticks opposite each other then just kills the motors. Alright. So, first flight. Really liked it. Really controlled, everything seems effortless. So what we'll do now is we'll use the one touch takeoff, and we'll take off and we'll see how controlled she is from that point onwards. So the one touch is this one. So click once, and then off she goes. She ascends to an altitude, and obviously if we didn't have this breeze here today she would have stayed exactly where she was. But the barometers inside these little copters aren't 100% foolproof. It's not like GPS, it doesn't automatically lock on and then stay there. So you are going to find that once you have taken off and once you do get to an altitude, you may find that she does move around ever so slightly. This is pretty much standard with the barometers. There's not really anything you can do to that. You can apply a little bit of trim, but if you do have a breeze like today, that breeze isn't going to be doing anything at all. Sorry, the use of trim isn't going to be doing anything at all. So there we go. I'm still, even with this little breeze that we've got, that is incredibly stable. As you can see from the video, she is moving slightly, but overall she seems to be just very happy staying where she is. So let's bring her back to me. So the main reason that we're flying in the little paddock here today is because it is quite foggy and there are a few dog walkers out. So let's just take you up to an altitude where you can see all the dog walkers. And just to make my point, there's none there. But there are a few here, and obviously I don't want to disturb them walking their dogs, so this is why we are in the paddock here today. Okay, so let's bring her down. Look at that, controlled descent. I'm flat down and she's just really nicely descending. There's none of this end motors cut out because you descend too fast and then they start up and the quadcopter just flips a little bit. Ooh, flips. Talking about flips, this quadcopter does allow you to flip. So let's take her up to a little higher altitude. And then we'll use the flip button, which is down here, and then directional, and then she flips around. So let's bring her back to me a little bit. I don't want to go in too far out of my line of sight if I'm going to be flipping her. So let's try again. It does make it a bit awkward because you have the flip button here and you have the directional analog stick here. So in order to use them both, you either have to use your fingers like this or cross your hands over. But obviously I don't want to be taking my hand off the right analog stick, so I'm going to be using my fingers like in this arrangement. Probably not the best, but to be honest with you, it's what I think is the safest at this particular time. So, directional, and then she flips. And then flips backwards, and then flips. See, now what I'm enjoying about this is that you can flip her and she gets back up to the altitude that she was at before you flipped her. So if I just show you, let me just see if I can push this away a little bit, because she has flown a little bit towards me. And then if I can show you, if you can see the quadcopter and the transmitter, see, she automatically stabilises and gets back up to the altitude that she was at prior to the flip. Really, really impressive, really quite nice. So quiet as well, so quiet. Those motors really are silent. It's probably going to be slightly amplified possibly with my microphone in my camera, but all in all, she really is. I'm standing here, and if I was to close my eyes, which I'm not going to do obviously, then I would swear that I was alone, that there was no motor around me at all. Here she comes. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, really nice. I'm really taken with this. I think more so than anything is because of the controlled descents, the controlled descents. Because she is, I mean, when you do bring her down, that's flat out. And then when she hits the floor, the motors turn off automatically. I didn't have to touch a thing. Oh, brilliant. Really, really good. So, let's have a little look at her now and see. Because there was the 2 landings that we've done so far. Not a scratch. Nothing on the sprigs. no chips of paint, beautiful. So let's take her back up once again with the automatic takeoff. I could get used to that. It is the lazy man's way to fly, no doubt, but there's just something fun about it taking itself up and then hovering at a particular altitude. So there she is. Oh, old dog barking there. Bless him. There we go. So let's take her up a little bit. Let's take her up. Let's see what is going on in our park over there. Anything going on? Oh, now, cool feature. This beep just lets you know that the battery is low. So what I'm going to do is bring it down to me, and then we're going to change that battery, because yes, I charged the second one. So here she comes. Here she comes. Beautiful. So bind to the quadcopter. Perfect. Just the sound notifies us that we have. Automatic takeoff. Lovely. We saw the automatic takeoff feature first work with a non-GPS quadcopter in the SEMA U5 or X5 UW, sorry. And I loved that copter. I thought SEMA had it right from the start, and they were the only guys that actually had it right, I thought, until I've flown this one. And this one is just beautiful. I mean, it's so controlled. It's too low there. Okay, let's increase the speed a little bit. So we're on mode 1. Let's put her onto mode 2. So now we should have a little bit more. A little bit more speed. Yes, look at that. And she is quick. Increase the speed. 2 speed modes. In the unboxing I said it was 3. Unfortunately it's only 2, but doesn't look as if you need a third. Mode 1 is slow. That would be like your 30%. Mode 2 is a lot faster. That is like, I would say, your sod your 60%. I would say that goes straight to 100. This thing really turns quick. And she loves it all day long. Look at this. Beautiful. Really nice. Okay, I'm probably not going to do that again. Oh yes I am. 3 times lucky, 4 times a charm. But still, with her being fast, she's not uncontrollable. She's very controllable. So a lot of people, well, a lot of copters actually, sorry, as soon as they get a little bit of speed, they get unstable, uncontrollable. This guy, not at all. This guy looks as if he's just loving life. Now I can see there's a feature up here for automatic flight plan. I didn't think that was one of the features that came with this copter, but I'm going to try it anyway, just to see. No, so automatic flight plan doesn't work. But then again, we've seen that with the non-GPS quadcopters quite a bit, and that's not something that is an awful shock. And what makes it even more fun from my point of view is that there's an alarm on the transmitter to let you know when the battery is low. With so many of these copters, you find that the battery gets low and the copter falls from the sky and damages itself. This one really doesn't. You just have the gentle beeps that let you know that the quadcopter is low. And that's brilliant. You can just bring it in for a really nice controlled landing and then exchange the battery. Okay, couple more flips. Back up to our altitude a lot faster as well this time. Don't forget we are on the fastest mode. So let's take her up a little way. Let's let her stabilise. Perfect. Let's go up a little way. Bring her down a little bit. I don't want these seagulls attacking it. I haven't had that with any seagulls here, but I have had a couple of friends that have come quite a cropper with that, and they have attacked their phantoms and smaller drones as well than the phantoms. Beautiful. Oh, can't say enough good things about it. Transmitter range, you're looking at 100 meters to go off the manual, so I would say approximately around about 80 would be would be about right. But yes, she's just lovely, and she skid stops. But yeah, really, really, really impressed. One key takeoff again. There she goes. Beautiful. I mean, you're looking at 10 minutes per battery is what I counted on the first battery, so I'm going to say it's going to be 10 minutes on the second one as well. Obviously, as you charge them over time, that time is going to degrade slightly. But 10 minutes, and obviously 20 minutes with the 2 batteries, that's a real good time to be flying. Normally, you get your 6 to 10 minute time, and that's it. Either bring a small charger with you and wait an hour and 10 minutes while you charge them, or go home, charge them and come back out. No need anymore, not with this guy. If you have got a small portable charger with you as well, you could always bring that and charge at the same time as you using the second battery. Oh, there we go. The beeps just let us know that we are almost out of battery. So let's bring her down for a nice little controlled landing. Let's put her into mode 1 so that she descends really nice, and then bring her down. There we go. Perfect. So, thoughts all in all. Right, brilliant. Yeah, going off the design first. Design is quite unique. Definitely not one that I've seen before, with this little rib cut in the middle of it. Matte black paint, really good choice. Flies incredibly well, so smooth. Every movement is smooth. There's not a jerky movement with any of the quadcopter's movements from the transmitter at all. Everything from banking her left and right, flipping her forward, flipping her back, and then her getting back up to the altitude that she was at before she flipped. All of it just makes in for a fantastically fun, stable, and a brilliant copter. I would recommend this for anybody, beginner, intermediate or advanced. It's so easy to fly, especially if you're flying it off the transmitter directly. You're just going to have so much fun with her completely. I mean, we've attempted, I think it's about 3 or 4 landings. 4 landings completed successfully. Worst part about it is that sometimes when she landed, she would tip backwards. But the plus point to that is that when she landed, all the motors cut out. I didn't have to do anything. And then just by pushing the 1 key start, she'd automatically take off again. So it just makes for such a fun, good copter. So there we have it, folks. So thanks ever so much for watching and listening. I've been JD. You've been fantastic as always. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, my friends, happy flying.